You want to drop fat, but you don't want to count calories. Every app, every label on the back of food packaging, it's all too much. It's overwhelming. What if I told you could drop fat and not have to count a single calorie, bro? What's up, people? It's Reese, artist and fat loss coach. I've spent years yo-yo dieting and I finally figured it out. I went from this to this and finally kept it off. Now I'm helping other people do the same thing. It all depends on the type of person you are. Me personally, I like to track calories. I like to know if I'm going wrong. I could pull up my phone and I could see on Monday or Tuesday, I went over here and I went under here. I like to see, but clearly if you've clicked this video, you're not that type of person. So here's some tips to help you drop fat without having to count the calories. Number 1, keep your portions smaller. Let's just say you're having dinner, half your dinner. Naturally, that's going to put you in a caloric deficit. You halving your dinner could be potentially 500 calories less. Imagine that added up over the course of a week. 500 times 7, that's 3,500 calories. That's a pound of possible body fat lost. So think about cutting your portions. Might not need to be half. You might want to cut a quarter out of your dinner. You might want to take a quarter out of your breakfast and then a quarter out of your dinner. So it all depends on what you want to do, but make your portions smaller. Keep your meals simple, enjoyable, and satisfying. And you want to stick to the same meals on most days, if that works for you. If you like more variety, it might be a little trickier, but you want to stay in a bracket of foods that you eat. Because when you introduce new foods, sometimes the label on packaging can be 20% off, and you might over or underestimate certain foods. So if you stay in a range of eating the same things that you enjoy, that are simple and that are satisfying for you, that can help keep you on track with your fat loss. Get at least 8 to 10,000 steps a day. I'd recommend 10K. Nothing crazy, just consistent movement. That's going to help increase your caloric deficit and aid with fat loss even further. Focus on eating slowly and stopping when you're around 80% full. And you'll be surprised, it's like our stomach has a delayed reaction. Once you stop eating, you'll probably find in about 20 to 30 minutes you don't feel as hungry as you thought you would. So focus on eating your food slowly. Do not ban junk food and sweets. I know you see this online about cutting out sugar and cutting out this. It's not about that. Eat it in moderation. That's going to stop you feeling overly restricted and lower the chances of you binging out. Because when you overly restrict yourself from foods that you've been exposed to for years by now, I'm assuming, it gets harder to fight those cravings. And then when you do eventually give in, it's going to be hard to stop. Think of bodybuilders after a show and how much weight they gain afterwards. Similar to that. So you want to still have your favorite foods, but in moderation. You will know when you're overdoing it. Keep your protein intake high. Eggs, beef, fish, chicken, things like this. They keep you fuller for longer. Especially you being in a caloric deficit, you're gonna be prone to more hunger. So keeping your protein high can help manage hunger while on a fat loss diet. So the takeaway from this is you do not need to count calories to continue to make progress. It's not for everybody. You can still make progress as long as you are consistent, you have healthy habits, and you are determined. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, I offer one-to-one coaching. That's on my website in the description below. I also wrote a book about my journey. I've been yo-yo dieting and losing weight and regaining it, and I finally figured out and wrote a book that wouldn't even cost you what you'd spend on your work dinner. Still eat, drop the fat, not the foods you love. Peace.